cases really tie into the storage story. So let's talk about that for a second. So, when you're talking about on-prem storage, what we're talking about is scalable storage. You've got a certain amount of S3 unstructured data storage within your Outpost rack. I think the limit is something just short of 100 terabytes. What we're in the business of is allowing you to scale beyond that up to multiple petabytes if you wish. What are some of the use cases you see that drive the need for additional on-prem storage?
No, let's keep this slide up here because I think there's a lot going on here. So as you mentioned, right now on Outpost you can order both your EBS, your block storage, and S3, which is object storage, in chunks up to about 100 terabytes, which is a lot for some people if they don't have, but is not a lot for people who need petabytes or exabytes. So where we start hearing that is, again, it's kind of all over the map. So you have telcos running their virtual network functions, like generating at what they call the CU, or the central unit, as opposed to all the way at the far edge. Or you have content production. I mentioned this media and entertainment, right? Doing visual effects. You watch movies. I mean, I remember back when we could go to the movie theaters. I hear that starting up again. So all of those things generate just exabytes, and you don't want to transfer that back and forth to the cloud, right? You need on-prem storage, and you need somebody like a Cloudian, right? Who right now, what we've decided to focus on with Outposts, right, is this smaller set of things that we do. And Cloudian has the perfect solution here for when you need petabytes or exabytes of high performance storage. Same thing is true in financial services, right? Where you have these huge, risk analysis grids, or there's this new regulation called, if I remember correctly, FRTB, Fundamental Review of Trading Books, which is another form of risk analysis that evolved after the 2008-2009 financial crisis. People are looking for how they can do this highly scalable analysis with 50,000, 100,000 cores and spin it up and down. And they're doing some of it in the cloud, right, in our regions, but some of it on-prem for a bunch of different reasons, right? These huge conglomerates. You got healthcare and life sciences. I think this is a huge emerging area where people are looking to modernize what they do and bring all of that cloud goodness to the locations around the world in some cases. And again, that requires, if you're doing medical images and you're looking at it, you're trying to generate these super high resolution images for radiology and MRIs, which is enabling new kinds of patient care. That requires just a massive amount of unstructured data. Transportation is a big area that, again, is evolving. You think of autonomous vehicles, fleet management, doing recommendations. A lot of that, you want to do it in real time at the 5G edge, or in these things that they call garages, which sounds kind of low end. I have a garage, but these are really essentially data centers where the vehicles come back every night and get new algorithms kind of pushed to them. And the last, and obviously Amazon's in this business too, industrial automation, right, where the robots in the warehouse are doing things and collecting enormous amounts of data from IoT sensors. So, it's probably not limited to all these things, but in the last year, I've been very excited or overwhelmed. I don't know what their case is, but kind of amazed maybe by how much data people say they're generating, either on-prem or in cities or at the 5G edge, and how many of them are thinking about moving to object stores, right? Which is pretty common in the cloud, right? S3 has been around 15 years. Lots of people use it. It's a little bit less common on-prem historically, right? People use block and file storage, or they're a little more familiar with it. But again, with Outposts and Cloudian, what we hear a lot of is people saying, hey, how do I bring that unstructured exabyte scale storage into these kind of use cases? And so, now we can solve that problem.